Hi, my name is Roshan. I am a 4-star player and I strive to be a 5-star player by the end of this year, so top 100 in the nation. I think who mainly pushed me to be a tennis player and has made me play all these matches and achieve this level is probably my dad, who's put me in all these tournaments and sacrificed his own time just to make me excel in tennis. And he allowed me and gave me a lot of opportunity to play a lot of tournaments, which definitely helped me get better. My mom does a lot of support to me in many ways. She'll save me a lot of time by doing the work so I have time to study at home. In the semifinals, I got humbled again. I lost pretty badly, and he was a player that I almost beat last time, so it was kind of inspiring again because we played indoor this time and outdoor last time to see the difference. I wouldn't take it out on my racket, but I would yell a little bit. But since I've matured and I've lost a lot of matches and I've kind of grown, I don't really slam my racket that much, and I don't get mad after the match. In the match I'll be a little bit mad, but I definitely matured and don't get as mad in the match. I think it's all mentality. If you know you're worse than them on size and you know they can cover the court better than you, but if you're mentally strong, you have the will to get every ball back no matter if it kills you, then you can win the match.
Hi, this is Jency Balasingham and welcome to Tamilkural. Today with us we have Roshan Murugesh. He is a 4-star player and also one of the top 150 students who have excelled in tennis in the US. Hello, welcome.
Hi, my name is Roshan and I am a 4-star player and I strive to be a 5-star player by the end of this year, so top 100 in the nation.
So Roshan, you are 17-year-old and I want to know how you came up to this level in tennis. Who inspired you and pushed you to take up this as your career?
Yeah, I think who mainly pushed me to be a tennis player and has made me play all these matches and achieve this level is probably my dad, who's put me in all these tournaments and sacrificed his own time just to make me excel in tennis. And he allowed me and gave me a lot of opportunity to play a lot of tournaments, which definitely helped me get better. And those tournaments really helped my ranking and record and overall helped my tennis game, which allowed me to get better. I started when I was 9, and I was kind of put into tennis because of my older brother. And I kind of excelled right as I started, as I really wanted. I have a personality where I really want to win. So that personality kind of showed in all my matches, and I try my best and I end up doing good overall, yeah.
You just mentioned that you were 9 when you started playing. So all these years, just tell me what is the greatest accomplishment according to you?
The greatest accomplishment, I think, would be just my ranking and rating at this point, because I think I am above many people I used to be below now at this point. And I started very slow, and I used to be the worst player, one of the worst players when I started 12s. But I ended up breaking through that barrier, and now I'm I'd say I'm definitely above the average player. And I think that would be my greatest accomplishment, because now I can be seen as a really good player to others. And I've also used that really good, as I am a really good player, I used that to become a leader and coach others and even lead my high school team, as I'm the captain of.
What is the most interesting part of the game that made you feel this is what you want to do and which pushed you to perform better?
I think the most important part of the game would probably be my will to win. I think that's what pushed me the most, because my grit for each match has made me a better player for sure, as sometimes I'm down 5-0 in matches and I end up coming back and winning because I just really want to win, which is probably why I've gotten this good. It's just because I want to win. Sometimes I'll play people that are twice my size and even better player than me in general, but I'll end up like pulling an upset or even winning the match because I just like really want to win and I have to like fight for it. Even if, and I don't like, if they're better than me or bigger than me, I don't let it get to my head. I feel like I'm playing an equal and I always like end up doing well against them.
So, like, tell us more about your journey on how your father pushed you into tennis and how you grew with the game. And now now you're in that state wherein you don't let other people's opinion get into your head, and then you have such a great confidence on your play. So tell us how this journey started. Who inspires you to do better each day, and how does your routine look like because
Okay.
you're a student?
Yeah. Well, his journey started when I was 9 years old, and I started playing tennis when I was like, or tournaments when I was around 10 years old. And it started pretty slow. I was not the very best, and I would lose a lot of matches. I would have a losing record compared to my winning record. My losing record would be greater, and I feel like just the more matches I played gave me more experience, and the more matches I played, I like began to care for the sport more, I feel like. And then once I cared for the sport more, I built up like a mentality where I like really want to win, and I also built up kind of like a mentality where I'd always fight for every point, and like no matter who I'm playing. So I feel like that's what pushed me further, and I feel like who inspires me in tennis would be like probably my dad, because he's sacrificing most of his life just so I could play like more tournaments, and he's sacrificing his time where he could be working or like enjoying, but he's watching my matches, and sometimes it's not the best matches, but he's still there and watches. And I feel like I'm also inspired by my coaches, and my main coach in the California, where he pushes me like a lot every day, and sometimes after tournaments we tell him how our matches went, and sometimes I lose and it's like I didn't play very good, but he always inspires me on my next match and how I can get better so I can consistently start winning again. And I feel like where I get inspired by pro players, I feel like one inspirational pro player I would say is Alcaraz. He's kind of like a upcoming greatest player kind of, and the reason he inspires me is he's like always fighting to win. He'll be in a fifth set and he'll still be fighting for every point using all of his legs, and I kind of want to be like him, where I want to be very explosive, and I want to just like use all my energy even if it's like in the last set of the match, and I just want to keep fighting. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think is the most important and crucial part of being trained?
Most crucial part of being trained, I think at the start, when you start playing tennis, I think the most crucial part is technique. But once you get technique, once you have a good technique, everyone's like kind of the same. So I think the most important part for me right now would be like mentality. And when I say mentality, I mean like when you're playing a match, you want to be like mentally stronger than the other player. Like when you're having a rally, your mentality should be like, I'm gonna make one more ball than the other person. So you end up like breaking them down, and like if you're mentally strong, I feel like you can progress faster, and like you should always try to win instead of give up, even if you're down like 5-0 in a match. Yeah.
So how does your day look like? How do you manage your studies as well as your tennis career?
Yeah, so like my daily routine would be like I have school in the morning to 3 o'clock, and then after 3 o'clock I go straight to tennis. The drive is about like 40 minutes, and when I'm at tennis, we hit for 2 hours, we practice for 2 hours, and sometimes it's match play, point play, and then we have an hour, or sometimes we have 30-minute fitness after that, and then I have a private lesson with my coach. So overall it's like 3 hours, and then I come back home very late, like around 8:30. So I usually don't have a lot of time to study, but I manage to like balance both of them. And I do also take very hard classes for high school, like a lot of AP classes. So I do have I don't have a lot of time to manage both of them, but I kind of like find a way to like get the job done.
Right. So, with this full-fledged packed day, how do you spend your weekends and how do you make time for your family and for your personal time and time outing with your friends and
Yeah.
stuff?
So I think most of my friends are also from tennis. So I have a lot of tennis friends and a lot of school friends. And I say in the weekends, I usually have a tournament. Like most weekends, I have a tournament. So I usually can't spend it with my school friends, but I'll see my tennis friends at tournaments where I can also socialize and also play a match. Because once you play a match, you have a lot of time for the rest of the day. And then the next day, you have more matches. So I do have time to socialize with my friends at tournaments. But with my friends at school, if I have an off weekend for like if I don't have a tournament in the weekend and I have free time, I'll spend it with my friends, and I'll like play video games with my other friends that live kind of far. And then after school, I also hang out with my friends for like a little bit before I get picked up for tennis. So I do balance it a little bit, yeah.
So, you told that you're the school captain of the team, right? So, tell us more about your team. How do you mentor them? And tell us more about how they take your mentorship.
Okay, so my team, when I came to high school as a freshman, I was number one on the team, and our team was not the best. We lost like 9. Our record was 1-9. We only won one team match, and which was really bad. And after that season, I let my friends on the tennis team know that they should get better over the summer, and I even recommended some academies to go to, and they followed my advice, and they did get better and train, and we also got some new people. So next year, sophomore year for me, we were almost undefeated. We were like 9-1, and we only lost one team match, and we won our sections too for D2. So our team wasn't the best, but I think through like the advice I gave them, they got better, and I think they were inspired by me to also improve. So they did do that, and we did end up getting better. And then we won D2, and then we got promoted to D1, which is this year. And this year we won the sectional titles, even though we were the underdogs in the finals, and we still found a way to clutch up the match. And I also, around the matches, I sometimes like tell my fellow teammates like how to hit the balls and like where they should stand, and like coach them along the way. Yeah.
So, like at such a young age, you have got this opportunity to lead a team. So, how do you feel having such a responsibility on your head? At the same time, you have to manage your studies and also your own pursuits in tennis.
I think I managed high school tennis and school and my actual tennis, but like in high school tennis, I kind of like leave it up to my team. I let them know what they should do, and I just like leave it up for them to get better. And for my actual tennis and school, I do balance it with a little bit less time. Like recently, I put less time into tennis so I could finish my exams. So I was only playing 2 times a week, and then I'd play a tournament, and I'd end up doing good in the tournament because of my mentality. But I've been playing a little bit less for like studies in high school tennis.
So, what was the turning point on which you were called to lead the team?
So freshman year, I was just playing. I didn't really say anything to my teammates. I was kind of like new to high school. And then sophomore year, I kind of got better at that, and I was kind of telling them, giving them advice when they kind of saw me like as like a leader, I guess. And then junior year, the coach told me that I should be the captain just because like I have more tennis knowledge more than them, and I feel like he thought that I could lead the team, and also help the coach make the decisions on the lineups so we have like a better chance of winning. So I think the turning point was like junior year, like this year. So yeah.
Tell us more about what was your toughest match that you've ever played till date.
So toughest match I think was earlier this year or last year. I played like a 4-hour match, and it was really brutal because it was really hot. It was really sunny, and I was playing a guy, one of my friends actually. He's also better than me, like better rated. So mentality coming in the match was already like, or my confidence was a little bit low because I know him personally and I know he's like a really good player. But during the match, I realized that I could like fight through it and win. So first set, I ended up losing like not easily, but like it wasn't the best. It was like 6-3. And second set, I'm thinking like, how am I supposed to win this match? And it's like really hot, and I know both of us are feeling that heat. So I for my mentality in that second set was just get the ball back no matter what it takes, and like hit one more ball than him. So second set I started off pretty slow. I was still down. I ended up coming back because I got back every single ball. Like he would hit it all the way to the corner, I'd run, get it. Other corner, I'd run, get it. Even if I was on defense, I'll find a way to get it back. And then he would end up getting really tired, and he was like kind of annoyed that I was getting everything back. And he started changing up his strategy because he thought he saw that I was getting everything back. So he started hitting it much harder to the corners, and so I couldn't get it. But he ended up missing more just because the fact that I was still getting to them, which allowed me to overcome that second set and win it. And in the third set, it was like we're both like cramping. We're both like super hot, and it's like 2.5 hours. And that third set was so close. It was like we each got a game. We didn't like let each other go up. And at the final, it was 6-all in the tiebreaker, or 6-all, and we had to play a tiebreaker. And we both were cramping, so it was really tough to move. But I ended up doing the same thing that got me to win in the second set, and I ended up winning the tiebreaker like 7-4, and it was like super hot, and I fell to the floor after winning. It was like 4 hours long, so it was like really long. And my dad watched the whole thing, even though it was 4 hours. Yeah.
So you mentioned that your friend was your opponent, right?
Yeah.
So how do you maintain such friendships on the court and outside of court?
So I think when I was on the court, it's not a friendship, it's kind of like a rivalry. And I feel like we're going to give it our all and be competitive with each other. And like we kind of exclude the part where we're friends. And then off the court, no matter what happened in the court, like even if it was like a close match or like he lost easily or I won easily or like anything, we'll still end up being like the same friends. And like after that match, we had to carpool him home, and we were like talking on the drive home a lot. So we were still like friends. Our match didn't really affect us at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
So what was your toughest tournament? Like, do you have any ambition to go and play for the majors, or like till date, whatever you've played, which was the toughest tournament that you had to come across?
Like hardest tournament?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like the most difficult tournament was recently where I played like an 18s. I think it was a level 2 national tournament, and it was kind of like a humbling experience because I thought I would be confident in playing all these better guys, but they were like on another level, and it kind of inspired me to like get to that level. And I lost badly on both my matches, and I was kind of like thinking to myself, I thought I was like good to go for these matches, but they're like on a different level. So I think I just like it inspired me to get better, and yeah, I'd say it inspired me to get better. And then my following tournament, I played a tournament after that, and my confidence was kind of low from the previous tournament, and my legs started hurting too a little bit, and I was like, I didn't think I was gonna like make it like past like really far in that tournament because my legs and stuff. So it was in Colorado, so we flew from Sacramento to Colorado to play this tournament. First round, it was like not a close match. I won pretty easily. And then second match, like okay. And then third match is where I had to like kind of like fight, grind, and like just keep the ball in play. It was like a tough match. I ended up winning in straight sets. And then in the semifinals, I got humbled again. I lost like pretty badly, and he was like a player that I almost beat last time, so it was like kind of inspiring again because we played indoor this time and outdoor last time to see like the difference, and like it inspired me to be like better. But my confidence did come back up because I made it to the semifinals of that tournament. Oh, I also in doubles, my partner withdrew because he had an injury, so I got paired with like an alternate. So I didn't expect him to be very good. So I thought we were just gonna like first round it'd be like we lost, but we ended up winning our first round with like a close tiebreaker. We were like I was like telling him what to do, and he would like do it properly, and we would like have a good synergy. And I feel like and then after after the first match, we were more confident with each other. So then we won our second match against better players, and then third match against better players. And then in the final, we made it to the finals of that tournament, and I was playing with the alternate, so we were definitely the underdogs. We still ended up losing, but it was a good fight, and we kind of like showed them like what the underdogs can do.
You just mentioned that you lost one match, right? Pretty badly, but that was also an humbling and inspiring experience for you, right? Mm-hmm. But then I have seen a lot of people taking out their frustration by slamming the rackets on the ground and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So do you do that? And how do you cope up with the frustration when you lose a match or when you have not kept up with your own expectations?
So yeah, after a match, like I think before I would get really mad and frustrated. I wouldn't take it out on my racket, but I'd like yell a little bit. But since I've matured and I've lost a lot of matches and I've kind of grown, I don't really slam my racket that much, and I don't get mad after the match. Like in the match, I'll be like a little bit mad, but I definitely matured and don't get as mad in the match. Yeah.
So during the match, have you felt any kind of discrimination based on your nationality or your talent or anything?
Yeah, some matches I definitely did. Like sometimes they thought I was worse because I'm like not like super big or super tall, and sometimes like they do think I'm worse because like I'm skinnier. But overall, like those matches where they do think I'm worse, I think I've come out on top like majority of the time against bigger players. Yeah.
How do you think you've come on the top against bigger players?
I think it's all mentality. Like if you know you're worse than them on like size, and you know they can cover the court better than you, but if you're mentally strong, like you have the will to get every ball back no matter if it like kills you, then you can win the match. Yeah.
As a player from a different ethnic background, do you find it hard in any way to reach the goals that you want to achieve?
I think with the Indian background there is like many aspects to it. So one could be like your height and size. Like I think as an Indian origin player compared to like Europeans and whites, you'd be like smaller. But also they could also affect you because Indians are more like focused on academics. So I have to balance both, where like people from white background or like other ethnicities can prioritize tennis more. Like I have to play, most of the people I play are actually homeschooled, so they only prioritize tennis while I have to balance academics and tennis. Yeah.
You have mentioned a lot of times that your father has supported you greatly in this pursuit of your career. What about your mom's support?
Yeah, my mom does a lot of support to me in many, many ways. Like she'll save me a lot of time by doing the work so I have time to study at home. And she does like most of the chores so I have time. And every morning I have trouble waking up. So like sometimes I have tennis in the mornings and I have trouble waking up. She'll always be there to wake up. So she wakes up before me just to inform me. She does all the cooking and she makes me all the food. She packs it for me for tennis and all that. So she's definitely helped like in a really big way. And I feel like she also like kind of comforts me and loves me a lot for like sometimes when I lose a match, she'll know about it and she'll like comfort me and like say what like next time like to do better, and kind of inspires me for my next match. And she definitely has some tips around tennis and like your diet and how to like keep yourself healthy and fit. Yeah.
Okay, what about your siblings?
Siblings, yeah, they both inspired me in many aspects. I think my older brother, he inspires me like a lot, like academically, and he pushes me a lot with colleges. He like tells me how to do it, and he's kind of like taught me all the processes. And he's also inspired me for tennis for sure. I think the only reason I've gotten this far is because of him. I've seen him play like when I was younger, and I kind of got inspired by that, like how he plays. And I think my twin brother definitely, because we've been like together our entire life, so my personality is kind of like off of him too. So I feel like since we've done like everything together, we just like have that connection, and we played like so many tournaments together, so many like memories. We just have that connection where like everything we do kind of rubs off on each other.
So other than your brother and your father, who is your inspiration to, whom you look up to?
I think a super big part of my tennis career would definitely be my coach. He's like inspired me in like so many different ways. Like matches that I shouldn't be able to win, he's like told me how to like come through it, gave me like so much strategies, and he's really, really inspirational when it comes to like playing against better people. And he definitely like compliments me a lot and kind of overrates me sometimes to like make me feel better about myself so I can do better in my matches. And he's just like a super chill guy, and he sometimes like buys me lunch randomly. So yeah.
So like apart from people that you know personally, like do you have any famous tennis players whom you look up to or whom you would love to play against at some point of time?
I think I look up to Alcaraz the most just because of his mentality and his footwork. He'll be like in a fifth set and they're both like super tired, but he's still like be moving around the court very like fast, explosive. And I know he's like mentally strong because he's came back like many times, even in rough situations. And I also think Monfils is like a inspiration because he does a lot of trick shots, and I kind of find it like fun to watch, and it's kind of rubbed off on me, and I kind of do some trick shots like here and there in my high school matches. So yeah, for sure.
So one last question, like what would be your message to the future younger generations who aspire to become tennis players, especially people from different ethnic backgrounds?
I think no matter your ethnic background, you should at least try and play it because tennis is a lifelong sport. I also read that it could increase your life by 10 years if you play it. And I also think you should play it because it teaches you a lot of life skills like discipline and a lot of other life skills that you could use in your life, and that the academics doesn't like teach by itself. So I feel like if you balance both, then you'll be like perfect. And also tennis, I think most of my connections and friends are also from tennis. So I've also found like it's not just like a sport, it's kind of like it's also like a social kind of event. Like I have like all my friends in tennis, and we made a lot of connections, and the group got bigger, and I can learn from each other in many ways. So you should definitely play tennis, yeah.
With this, we have concluded our interview for today. Thank you, Roshan, for speaking with us, and I hope you excel in your sport and continue to inspire younger generations. Thank you.